He scored 32 goals in a single Premier League season, at the time the most any player had managed in a 38-game campaign. More than Ronaldo, more than Suarez, more than Shearer's 31. He won the Golden Boot by 2 goals ahead of Harry Kane. 3 years before that, his manager publicly criticised him after a win over a League Two side and told the press his fringe players had made selection easy. I have the timeline. Mohamed Salah signed for Chelsea from Basel in January 2014. He was 21. The fee was £11 million. Chelsea were not the reigning champions. Manchester United had won the title in 2012-13, but José Mourinho had just returned to Stamford Bridge for his second spell as manager, and the squad he was building would go on to win the Premier League in 2014-15. Salah was part of that project in theory. In practice, he was competing for minutes in a team already stocked with technically exceptional wide forwards. Mourinho's Chelsea in this period had Eden Hazard, Oscar and Willian as regular attacking options. Salah was the spare. He was 21 in his first season in England at a club that did not need to be patient with anyone. A choice. The season started. Salah got appearances. Not many, and not in the biggest games. By the spring of 2014, Chelsea played Norwich City at home, a Premier League fixture that ended goalless. Salah started. Years later, former teammate John Obi Mikel recalled that Mourinho's half-time assessment of Salah's performance was not measured, and that it left Salah in tears. Mourinho replaced him for the second half and did not bring him back. Noted. Neither Salah nor Mourinho has publicly confirmed that account. It emerged from a teammate who was present, and it changes what the public record looked like until recently. In October 2014, Chelsea played Shrewsbury Town in the Capital One Cup. Shrewsbury were a League Two side, 3 divisions below Chelsea. It was exactly the kind of fixture designed to give fringe players a case to make. Salah played. He assisted Didier Drogba's goal in the 48th minute. Chelsea won 2-1. Afterward, Mourinho assessed his fringe players to the press. His verdict? They had made his next selection easy. He expected players to give him problems. They had not done that. He assisted the opener in a cup match against a team from the 4th division, which by most definitions is... I'm aware that José Mourinho has won, at last count, approximately 26 trophies. His judgment of a player's quality is, across the body of evidence, credible. I am simply identifying what occurred on that particular Tuesday evening, for the purposes of accuracy. By the end of the 2014-15 season, Salah had made 19 total appearances for Chelsea and scored 2 goals. 2! He was loaned to Fiorentina in January 2015, where he scored 6 league goals in 16 appearances in the second half of the Serie A season. Fiorentina wanted Salah to remain, but he did not continue there. He moved to Roma on a further loan for 2015-16 amid complications over the arrangement. At the end of that season, Roma paid around €15 million to make the deal permanent. Chelsea had paid £11 million. That is the arithmetic of the exit. Mourinho later said Chelsea used the proceeds to fund another signing, a decision he said was not his. Salah spent 2016-17 at Roma, scored 15 league goals in 31 Serie A appearances, 19 in all competitions, and Liverpool came calling the following summer. Chelsea paid a reported £11 million. Roma paid around €15 million. Liverpool agreed an initial €42 billion fee, widely reported in the UK at around £34 million. The market had an opinion. Liverpool identified a profile that suited Klopp's system. A forward who exploits the space behind a defensive line at pace, finishes at the near post with his left foot, and presses aggressively from the front. That description, for the record, fits the player whose post-match performances Mourinho said had made his next selection easy. But here's the part nobody talks about. Mohamed Salah's 2017-18 Premier League season. 32 goals, 10 assists, 36 appearances. The Golden Boot won comfortably. The single-season scoring record for a 38-game Premier League campaign, previously held jointly at 31 goals by Luis Suarez in 2013-14, Cristiano Ronaldo in 2007-08, and Alan Shearer in 1995-96, broken by one. That mark stood for 5 years, until Erling Haaland scored 36 in 2022-23. I have watched enough football to know when a season is something else entirely. That one was. In April 2018, while Salah was closing in on that record, José Mourinho, by then managing Manchester United, gave an interview in which he addressed Salah's departure from Chelsea. His position? That Salah had not been physically and mentally prepared for the Premier League at the time. Right. That the loan spells in Italy had developed him into the player he became. That this was not a failure of management, but of sequencing. He needed Italy first. England came after. Not physically prepared! 32 Premier League goals! Mourinho's framework is that Italy completed what Chelsea had begun. This is a framework. I'm prepared to subject it to serious analysis. There is also this, which Mourinho has said across multiple separate interviews, that he was the one who signed Salah, that he fell in love with the player. Sir? That the decision to sell permanently was made by Chelsea, not by him, while he was still in charge at the club. That he wanted Salah to stay. These statements are not internally inconsistent. They coexist with the public criticism of October 2014, with the dressing room half-time that John Obi Mikel described, and with the not physically prepared assessment delivered after 32 Premier League goals in a single season. Salah has since spoken respectfully about Mourinho, describing him as one of the best tacticians in world football. The Salah story is often framed as a rejection story, the player Mourinho overlooked, the £11 million signing who left for Italy and came back as the Premier League's most prolific scorer in a 38-game season. That framing is not wrong, but it is incomplete. The more accurate version is this. Salah was 21 when he arrived at Chelsea, and he was not what he later became. 2 loan spells in Italy changed him, technically, physically, in terms of reading the game at the pace required in England. Chelsea let that development happen somewhere else. The exit decision, whoever made it, is in the record. Whether Mourinho drove that call or the board did, the result is the same. Salah developed in Italy. He arrived at Liverpool as a formed player. He scored 32 goals in his first full Premier League season and did not stop. He went on to become one of the Premier League's defining attacking players of the last decade. All of that happened at Anfield. Chelsea have won things since then. Mourinho has won things since then. The 32 goals of 2017-18 were Salah's. Neither Mourinho nor Chelsea had any claim to them. The player who scored those goals has, in interviews since, spoken respectfully about the manager who criticised him after Shrewsbury Town. Make of that what you will. And that, I would tell you, is the only statistic that matters. That is football. £11 million in, €15 million out, £34 million somewhere else entirely. If this is the version of the game you want, the one where the numbers say everything the words don't, subscribe right now. And if you think another manager made a worse call in the transfer window, drop it in the comments. I read every one. I am already building a list.